at work, I just take time. And all through my coffee break time, I say a little prayer for you. Forever, ever, ever, ever. Stay in my heart and I will love you forever, ever, ever. Never apart, oh how I love you together, together, together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only mean heartbreak for me. Nobody but me. Forever, ever, ever. Stay in my heart and I will love you forever, ever, ever. Never apart, oh how I love you together, together, together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only mean heartbreak for me. My darling, believe me. For me there is no one but you. Please love me too. I'm in love with you. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. Say you love me too. Answer my prayer. Answer my prayer, babe. Answer my prayer. And forever, ever, ever, ever. I will love you forever, ever, ever. Never apart, oh how I love you together, together, together. That's how it must be to live without you. Would only be heartbreak for me. Oh, nobody but me. My darling, believe me. For me there is no one but you. Please love me too. This is my prayer. Answer my prayer now, baby. Answer my prayer. This is my prayer. Answer it right now, baby. Answer my prayer. Say you love me too. Answer my prayer. This is my prayer, baby. Answer my prayer, baby. I'm in love with you. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of this morning, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you take to the
Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, I want to encourage you to find your way to your tables. We are prepared to start, so we just need to get you where you need to be so that we can start the program. Find your way to your table, start in on your salads, and we will begin in just a couple of minutes.
standing by, standing by, standing by.
stars shining bright above you. The night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you miss me, while I'm alone and blue as can be.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 9th annual Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That's right. I'm Daryl Hartwick. I'm the president and CEO of the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce. We are so pleased to have you all here celebrate this exceptional group of women. We hope that you are able to enjoy the reception beforehand. We appreciate all of you being here tonight to honor, celebrate, and witness the induction of these amazing women into our Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. We want to acknowledge and thank Centennial Bank, our presenting sponsor who has supported this Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame event since its inception. Thank you, Centennial. Yes. We also want to recognize those of you watching from home, courtesy of Arkansas PBS. We are glad that you can join us, and we want to thank Arkansas PBS for partnering with us. Tonight, we honor a tremendous group of people, our Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame Board of Directors that led the efforts with others across the state. The board takes pride in playing a role in transforming the lives of young women and girls throughout Arkansas. For a second year in a row, the board has proudly chosen to award financial grants to 2 incredible organizations. This year's recipients are Girls Inc. of Fort Smith and Havenwood. These grants not only offer meaningful support today, but also build a stronger, more sustainable future for the young women that they serve. We want to thank them for their vision and dedication to empowering the next generation of Hall of Fame inductees. The members of the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame Board are on the screen, and if they would stand for a moment, we would like to recognize them. We also want to recognize and thank the selection committee. This special group has dedicated their time, knowledge in the past few years by selecting our honorees. If this selection committee would please stand and be recognized as well. At this time, it is my great honor to introduce the chair of the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame Board of Directors, Stacy Hurst.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the entire Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame Board, it is my privilege to welcome you and thank you for joining our celebration of the accomplishments and contributions of this year's inductees. First, I want to take just a hot minute to quickly acknowledge our wonderful board members who I have the privilege to work with all year round. We work to bring attention to the important role of women in our state's history and future. I also want to pause to thank our partners at the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce. Daryl Hartwick and Ashley Height worked so hard all year round to bring this together. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. Now I want to highlight a new initiative from our board, one that shines a light on industries making meaningful gains in the employment and advancement of women. This year, we celebrate the field of construction, where the number of women has grown by an impressive 28% over the past 5 years. In your program, on page 14, you'll see a list of participants who have purchased tables or sent representatives, and I'd like to invite those representatives to stand so that we may acknowledge your presence and applaud your achievements. Please stand. And I want to thank those who participated this year in our Women in Construction initiative, the Associated General Contractors, Arkansas Good Roads Foundation, Baldwin and Shell Construction Company, East Harding Construction Company, Garver, Nabholz Construction, National Association of Women in Construction, and VCC. Thank you all again for supporting our efforts. The drive to create a better community, state, and world is at the heart of what we honor tonight. It gives me goosebumps each year when I'm here at this event because these women have had such an impact. This year, our inductees have opened doors for others to walk through. They didn't just imagine change, they worked for it. And many of us are here today because their courage cleared the way. Now in our 9th year of inductions, we celebrate a group of women whose leadership and vision have shaped our beloved Arkansas and reached far beyond its borders. I hope you learned something at tonight's celebration. I know I always do, and I hope you are moved to share these stories with others. Since its inception, the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame has proudly inducted more than 70 notable women and organizations. Tonight, we pause to honor them and to remember one of our 2024 inductees whom we sadly lost this year, Jamalee Cameron. I hope you noticed a lovely medallion necklace on a small number of attendees this evening. That medallion is a symbol of the wearer's place in the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. We are grateful these past inductees are here to help welcome our 2025 class. And I'd like to ask them to please stand so we may recognize and thank you. Former inductees, please stand. Thank you so much for your contributions and your impact. As the evening progresses, we have no doubt you will think of several women who should be nominated for next year's class. The only way these women can be considered is by your official nomination. You can find the nomination at arwomen'shalloffame.com. And finally, past donations from these ceremonies have helped us achieve a vision of a permanent exhibit located in this building, proudly across from the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame, downstairs in the Marriott's Rotunda area. I bring this to your attention in hopes that you will visit the exhibit, spread the word, and continue to support history being made and preserved in Arkansas. Thank you all for being here. Please enjoy this meaningful evening. And now I will hand it over to our MC for the evening, Corey Keller.
Hello. Thank you all all so much for being here tonight. It is so good to be here to celebrate with you all. I am honored to be a part of this wonderful celebration. Many of you have asked how you can help or get involved. The Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame is a nonprofit organization with the sole revenue coming from the hosting of this event each year. We invite you to join us in continuing this important work of honoring these amazing women by making a tax-free donation. On your table and in your program, you can find a QR code. All you need to do is open your camera app on your phone, hover it over the QR code, and tap the link, which will bring you to the donation page. Of course, any size donation is appreciated. Your support allows us to preserve these women's stories, to inspire future generations, and to continue honoring women who deserve to be seen, heard, and remembered. We invite you to give to a mission that uplifts voices, sparks dreams, and empowers every woman and girl in Arkansas to know her worth and write her own story. We thank you in advance for your support. And of course, we would not be here tonight without the help and generous support from our wonderful sponsors. I'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, Centennial Bank, who has supported us since the inception of the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. We appreciate your continued support through the years. We would also like to thank our gold sponsor, BOK Financial, for your generosity and your support. Let's give them a round of applause. And thank you to our silver sponsors, Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield and McClarty Automotive Group, who is also our Girls of Distinction sponsor. Let's give them another round of applause. And to our bronze sponsors, Arkansas Children's Hospital, Arvest, Baptist Health, North Little Rock Economic Development, and the University of Arkansas Pulaski Technical College, thank you. And finally, a big thank you to all of our partner sponsors, the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, Arkansas Business, Arkansas PBS, Cityscapes Magazine, CWP Production, Content Titan, Miss Arkansas, Dillard's Park Plaza, Southern Glaciers, Tipton and Hearst, and DYV Events. Let's give them another big round of applause. Now it's our pleasure to shine a spotlight on some very special young women joining us tonight. We're proud to introduce this year's Girls of Distinction, sponsored by McClarty Automotive Group and graciously outfitted by Dillard's Park Plaza. These remarkable students were chosen for their leadership, dedication, and the positive impact they've made in their schools and communities. Tonight, they have the honor of escorting our inductees during the program. As the 2025 Girls of Distinction stand and be recognized, please join me in welcoming them. Thank you. We will be learning a bit more about them later in the program, but now on to just some general housekeeping. Please kindly silence your cell phones. However, feel free to Facebook, Instagram, or tweet about this great event using the hashtag AWHOF. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Barbara Graves, who is chair of the Little Rock Region Board of Directors at Centennial Bank, and tonight presenting sponsor.
Welcome. I am so thrilled to be here tonight. Even though I'm not a senior woman of distinction, I am glad to be here on behalf of Centennial Bank and welcome each and every one of you. Centennial Bank is proud to have been an original and continuing sponsor and to celebrate these incredible women for their strength, for their commitment to the community, to our state, and to our nation. I want to also thank Arkansas Publishing Company, the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, and while Terry Hardwick has already been thanked, he made the grave error of telling me how this started. And it started because his mother couldn't read about any women in the paper. And that was in 2014. And in 2015, with the sponsors and with incredible group of people came together and made this event happen. Terry Hardwick, thank you, and don't ever tell me a secret. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. But even with this bright light, I look out across this room and I see family members, young children, church members, business associates, all supporting and honoring these incredible women and for their commitments and for what they've done. So thank you for being their mentors and the wind at their back. We appreciate you so much, and I know they do too. We do not remember days, we remember moments. Honorees, this is your moment. We want to hear your story. This is your time in the spotlight. Thank you. Thank for what you've done for Arkansas. We appreciate you so very much. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Barbara, to you and to Centennial Bank for your continued support of our program. Now I want to introduce the Reverend Joanna Seibert, Deacon of St. Mark's Episcopal Church and a 2017 Women's Hall of Fame honoree, to say a blessing before dinner is served.
Let us pray. We gather tonight to give thanks and honor women of Arkansas who looked at the world with a feminine lens and brought about changes in our state to improve the lives of other women, children, and men, who courageously stood up and cared for others, who quietly learned a way out of the box and made improvements when it seemed impossible, and brought a caring heart to those they served. We give thanks for their mentors who empowered them, and may we here tonight continue to mentor others, our children, our grandchildren, to raise women up in all situations to become the women God created them to be. Amen.
are over, and life is like a song. Oh yeah, yeah, at last the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, yeah, you smile. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at last.
Si les fleurs qui bordent les chemins se fanaient toutes demain, je garderai au cœur celle qui s'allumait dans tes yeux lorsque je t'aimais tant au pays merveilleux de nos 16 printemps. Petite fleur d'amour, tu fleuriras toujours pour moi. Quand la vie par moments me trahit, tu restes mon bonheur, petite fleur. Sur les 23, je m'arrête un moment pour respirer ce parfum que j'ai tant aimé. Dans mon cœur, tout fleurira toujours au grand jardin d'amour, petite fleur. Dans mon cœur,
sometime. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Those happy hours that we once knew, though long ago, it still make me blue. They say that time heals a broken heart, but time has stood still since we've been apart. Yeah. I can't stop loving you. I made up my mind to live in memories of the lonesome time. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterdays. Those happy hours that we once knew, so long ago, still make me blue. Still make me blue. They say that time heals a broken heart. But time has stood still. Time has stood still since we've been apart. Since we've been apart. I can't stop loving you. I said I made up my mind to live in memories of the lonesome time. Sing the song, children. I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life of dreams of yesterday.
L is for the way you look at me. O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. Is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can't make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it. Love was made for love was made for me and you. I said love was made for me and you. You know that love was made for me and you.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I needed the shelter of someone's arms. There you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs. There you were, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I want to stop. Thank you, baby. I want to stop. And thank you, baby. Yes, I do. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Feels so fine. How sweet it is to be loved by you. I close my eyes at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything I did was just a bore. Everywhere I went, it seems I'd been there before. But you brighten up for me all of my days. With a love so sweet in so many ways. I wanna stop. Thank you, baby. I just wanna stop. Thank you, baby. Oh, yes. How sweet it is to be loved by you. It's just like sugar sometimes. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Whoa, yeah. You were better to me than I was to myself. For me, there's you, and there ain't nobody else. I wanna stop. Thank you, baby. I just wanna stop. And thank you, baby. Oh, yes. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
You can cry a million tears. You can wait a million years. If you think that time will change your ways, don't wait too long. When your morning turns to night, who'll be loving you by candlelight? If you think that time will change your ways, don't wait too long. Maybe I've got a lot to learn. Time can slip away. Sometimes you gotta lose it all before you find your way. Take a chance and play your part. Make romance, it might break your heart. But if you think that time will change your ways, don't wait too long. Mm. shine. Love may age like fine red wine. But if you think that time will change your ways, don't wait too long. Baby, you and I've got a lot to learn. Don't wanna waste another day. Maybe you gotta lose it all before you find your way. Take a chance, play your part, make romance. It might break your heart, but if you think that time will change your ways, don't wait too long. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Oh, 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 I was a city boy, right into dangers where I'd always run. A boy who had his fun, but I wouldn't have done all the things that I have done if I knew one day you'd come. Now, baby, now, baby, now, baby, now, baby. Oh, oh, oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, to start the second half of tonight's program, please help me welcome to the stage the 2025 Miss Arkansas Talent winner, the amazing Haley Shord.
Are here again, the skies above are clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy days are here again. Your cares and troubles are gone. There'll be no more from now on. From now on. Happy days are here again. The skies above are so clear again. So let's sing a song of cheer again. Happy times, happy nights, happy days are here again. Are here again.
Wonderful job, Haley. Of course, we can see why she was the overall talent winner at Miss Arkansas 2025. Let's give her another big round of applause. We are so excited to partner with the Miss Arkansas organization, a leading provider of women's educational scholarships, and of course, get to showcase their exceptional talent like we saw tonight. At this time, we'd like to share a video from the Governor of Arkansas, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Hi, I'm Governor Sanders. Congratulations to the 2025 inductees to the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. Our state has a rich history of women difference makers. From Daisy Bates to Hattie Caraway to the women being honored here today. Their accomplishments and their legacy deserve to be shared and celebrated. As Arkansas's first woman governor, it makes me proud to see other mothers, daughters, and sisters excelling across every field and industry. Congratulations to all the inductees in the 2025 class, and thank you for all you do for our state. Arkansas is proud of you.
A big thank you to Governor Sanders for her support. With me on stage are some very special guests, our girls of distinction. Let's hear a little bit more about them.
My name is Madeline Moran, and I'm from Benton High School.
My name is Allison Lake, and I go to Little Rock Christian Academy.
My name is Amelia Byers, and I go to Mount St. Mary Academy. Hi, my name is Caitlin Carmichael, and I go to Cabot High School.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nia Salam, and I go to North Little Rock High School.
Let's give another round of applause for these young women who will be escorting our inductees tonight. Thank you, ladies. The Women's Hall of Fame award that we will be handing out to our honorees tonight is handcrafted and made by Ron Minat from Callahan Mountain Studios in Northwest Arkansas. The presentation of awards for this evening is divided into 3 categories: 5 contemporary inductees, 2 historical inductees, and 1 group. And with that, we will start with our contemporary awards. Our first contemporary inductee is Dr. Margaret Lowe Bogle. Dr. Lowe Bogle is a trailblazer in pediatric nutrition, community health, and education. Her visionary leadership transformed Arkansas Children's Hospital and launched groundbreaking nutrition programs that earned national and international acclaim. Above all, her remarkable journey is defined by resilience, compassion, and a lifelong dedication to lifting others through service, science, and a love of community.
I was born in Grapevine, Texas, August 31st, 1936. It was a good year. Early on, my father was a public school superintendent. My mother was a public school teacher. I went to several different schools in Arkansas when we first moved. I was there at the end of World War II. So I went there in 9th grade and finished high school there. At the tender age of 15 years old, I was valedictorian of the class and went immediately, when we graduated, to the University of Arkansas that summer. Enrolled in the College of Agriculture, School of Home Economics, and Vocational Education. I got my degree there in 3 years and 2 summers. I had the highest grade average in the College of Agriculture, which didn't sit well with a lot of the men, but we were all together at that time, didn't matter. The grades stood for themselves. From there, I went to the University of Tennessee because they didn't have a master's degree in nutrition in Arkansas. I was known for having one of the shortest master's theses that they'd published in the department. Didn't bother me. When we moved to Moore, I took a job with the University of Oklahoma. I actually supervised the student teachers in home economics who were getting their student teaching on campus. And after a year of that, I also took another job that was a American Legion sponsored school for children with cerebral palsy. It was at that point that I really determined that I wanted to deal with children for the rest of my life in whatever possibility I could. At Southwestern, I had been working with children with special needs. The Dallas Morning News put my address in the public school because it was this: children with disabilities are more alike than they are different. I still believe that in many areas of our life, but certainly for those people it was. Since I was so community-oriented, in many of the jobs that I had, I was allowed to take time off from some of my professional jobs and work in the community because I thought professionals should be involved in the community. So when I was at Children's Hospital, I was invited to be on the board of the Women's Foundation of Arkansas. Well, after a couple of years, they nominated me and selected me as their president. Sometimes it's not what you do in your job or in your community efforts, it's what you leave behind. And I feel really good about that, and I'm proud of what we left behind. I have been given some extraordinarily high complimentary awards in my lifetime. I got the highest award that the American Dietetic Association gives to an individual member ever. They now call it the Lifetime Achievement Award. Also, I am a distinguished alumni of the Dale Bumpers College of Agriculture in Fayetteville. And I'm also a distinguished alumni of the Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas. Those are very prominent in the awards that I've been given over time. The Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame is at the top now. Here I sit at 88 years of old, and I'm getting this award after this period of time. It's very meaningful.
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Margaret Lowe Bogle.
Well, I had forgotten about that interview, and most of what I have to say tonight is an extension of that, a part of it. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you to Stacey Hurst and the board of the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame for my induction into the 2025 class, an award that I am pleased and honored to receive. I'm here to remind you that I'm not standing on this stage tonight alone. Without significant support along the way. I had great assistants, good students, staff members, all along the way that helped me and continued the work we were trying to do. I'm sure many of you have heard the old adage of behind every successful man, there was a strong woman. Well, my cards didn't fall that way. Behind this strong woman, there was a very successful man. He was my partner for 66 years and was my moral compass, my cheerleader, my critic, the most honest person I have ever known, and was eager to see that I succeeded in whatever I decided to do. I can honestly say I would not be on this stage tonight if it had not been for him. And I'll always remember what he always said to me when I would get in the car and say, well, I got to go to the Delta this week or somewhere else. I'll be back Saturday or Sunday. And he said, just be yourself. And I'm passing that on to the young women out in this audience. Just be yourself. It can happen to you. Yeah. I consider myself an Arkansan, and always will, but I'm also a passionate Razorback fan. My favorite t-shirt that hangs in my closet there in Texas on the rack that I wear all during the sporting season says this. It's red, of course. Living in Texas, but with roots in Arkansas. And in closing, I'd just to say thanks to all who came, and the show has just begun because there are more amazing women to come on the program. And again, thank you all for coming, and it's just delightful to be here.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe Bogle. What an inspiration. Our next inductee this evening is Bettina Brownstein. Bettina is a fierce advocate, champion, civil rights lawyer, and lifelong activist who has dedicated her career to fighting for reproductive justice, First Amendment rights, and progressive change in Arkansas. As a founder of Pro-Arkansas Woman PAC, she has helped empower dozens of women to run for office and transform Arkansas politics. Her unwavering passion for justice, bold leadership, and deep love for her community continue to leave a lasting impact across the state.
I believe if life is better for each individual, life is better for all of us. And that kind of is the impetus for me to do what I do. I'm Bettina Allen Brownstein, and I'm a civil rights attorney and a political activist. I'm a California native, but I've been here about 40 years. Growing up near the beach was a big part of our lives. My parents were not pretentious, and I think they had really good values. I come from a Jewish family. I am Jewish, identified. There was a certain attitude about justice and fairness. My mother was a big world traveler. We got to go on these trips with her, so I had an international background, and that was important. I attribute a lot to that upbringing. I graduated from UCLA and I got a master's degree specializing in Southeast Asian history. I discovered politics. We were protesting against our involvement in the Vietnam War. And I was a member of a women's consciousness raising group dealing with feminism and issues of women empowerment. And we were not going to take our husbands' names if we got married. We were not going to wear high heels. And it was the most exhilarating and fun time of my life. I wanted to go to law school because I wanted to learn to think. And I love constitutional law. There is that. I loved it from the beginning. I applied for a job as a clerk with Judge John Singleton in Houston. And he said, "Are you planning to get pregnant?" And I said, "No, I'm not planning to get pregnant." Well, I wasn't. I was pregnant. I had my daughter, Toby. She was born during the break between semesters of my last year of law school. And it was a year before I told him that I had a child. There were things that led me think I should be a litigator, and I just fell into that. I never felt constrained to speak up or ask a question or be at the forefront. Finished law school at University of Houston, and then I went to clerk for a federal judge for 2 years. And my one friend in Houston who knew somebody here, Jim Gray, was an associate at the law firm of Wright, Lindsey and Jennings. And so I went there and interviewed, and I loved it. I moved here in '85, and I stayed for 30 years. Very decent place to work, and they tolerated me. One of the things I've been involved in for 20 years or more is the confluence of mental illness and the criminal justice system. And so recently, I and others picked up that ball again and tried to improve life for mentally ill people in jails in Arkansas. From the beginning, I did pro bono work for the ACLU. I always thought that was an important part of my practice. My specialty was abortion rights. My neighbor, Catherine West, and I, and Murray Newbern, who lived nearby, we were talking about how hard it was for women to raise money to run for political office. I think women in these professions were still subject to these stereotypes about the kind of woman who's going to be in a position of authority and power. We formed an Arkansas PAC, which since that time we grew from supporting 8 women candidates with $20,000 to $100,000 is what we give each election cycle. And we've got a great group of women, and that's what it's about. They're not going to make me give up. If we don't, who will?
Please welcome to the stage Bettina Brownstein.
Hello, everybody. Boy, it's really bright here. Is there any way to dim the lights? Okay, so I'm not going to be nervous. I have to imagine you all nude. That's what they say. All right, they've given me 1 to 2 minutes. I think I'll go a couple of minutes or a few minutes beyond that. I'll try to be really short. This is a very bittersweet moment for me. This is a sweet moment because of people that I love and appreciate and respect, family and friends, urged me to accept this nomination and in fact nominated me for this honor. And I truly want to say I appreciate you, that you have made life interesting and worthwhile for my 40 years in Arkansas. People like Lee Muldrow, where's Lee? Who made working at Wright, Lindsey and Jennings a pleasure. People like Bill Stewart, who despite my California upbringing and liberal parents, made me like guns. My wonderful circle of women friends, the Indoor Femmes, I know some of you are there, who have stuck with me for 40 years. Donna Cave and I started it. Others are here. They've been my support and all these years. And of course, my daughter, Toby Chu, who's grown up to be a successful young woman, and has given me a grandson, which has really changed my perspective on life. And made me realize that being a grandmother and babysitting at my age is harder than any civil rights work that I've ever done. If I've omitted to mention any of you, I'm sorry. Oh yes, this dress, it's my first designer label dress ever, Escada. Thank you, Pat and Paula, who helped me pick it out. So that's the sweet part of this moment. The bitter part of this moment is because of what's happening in this country today. I'm a civil rights lawyer. I have fought for abortion rights pretty much my whole adult life, and the First Amendment, separation of church and state, for democracy. And as far as I can tell, I failed miserably right now. And so I am very distressed by what is happening in the country today. And I'm distressed by what is happening in Arkansas today politically. And yes, Murray Newbern and I, she's here, Catherine West, we formed a PAC to help women get elected, progressive women, to try to assert, what we think of as democratic values. But it's tough right now. And I am very worried about this country and the state of democracy. I think everybody should be worried. My grandparents came here from the Ukraine when it was part of the Russia. They escaped, they fled the Tsar. They fled persecution. There was no separation of church and state. There were no separation of power. There were no civil rights in Russia. And they came to this country and they made lives, and they were successful, and they benefited from what this country stood for. And they were successful. My daughter's grandparents fled China. They fled Mao Zedong and the dictatorship of China, and there's lack of civil rights, the lack of democratic rights. And they came to this country, and they were successful. And her father left Brazil, where there had been a military dictatorship, and came to this country. And so I want the same things for my grandson, my new grandson, and my daughter. I want the same things that my grandparents sought in this country. I want democracy. I want civil rights. I want the rule of law. I want separation of church and state. And I want the rights for women. And I'm worried about this. But I'm not going to flee this country the way my grandparents fled their country. I'm not. I'm going to stay and fight till I can no longer fight anymore to try to get us And I want you all to fight too. I want you to realize that we are in a very precarious time and that we need to stand up and we need to fight, and we cannot let what is so precious about this country and what people fought for in the American Revolution be in vain. So please, I am begging you, because I am worried and I am desperate that we make sure that democracy prevails in this country. Thank you.
Next, we have our contemporary inductee, Paula Casey. Paula is a distinguished attorney, educator, and public servant whose career has shaped both Arkansas law and legal education. She made history as U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Arkansas and later became the first woman to serve as interim dean of the University of Arkansas Little Rock Bowen School of Law and as vice provost for research. Renowned for her exceptional leadership, landmark prosecutions, and dedication to mentoring future lawyers, Paula's impact on Arkansas is both lasting and profound.
I won't say that being a woman in those years was easy. I hope that I never again hear somebody say to me, "Oh, you'll be a great legal secretary." And you know what? I probably would have been. I grew up in Oklahoma, but I was born in Arkansas. My dad had a legal problem in Franklin County, and he hired Dale Bumpers, who was the best and the only lawyer in Charleston, got it resolved for him in a very favorable way. Thought, you know, being a lawyer wouldn't be bad. You can fix things for people. I came back to Arkansas, go to law school. It just felt like coming home. When I started law school, there were a limited number of women. The women were the really bright ones in the class because you had to be somewhat ambitious and willing to put up with some flack. I had the privilege of having both Bill and Hillary Clinton as professors, the only female law professor that I had. I loved being taught how to find the answers to problems. I graduated from law school in 1977. I came to Little Rock. Primarily, I worked for the public defender's office, but when clinic students had clients in juvenile court, I supervised them. And I really liked that part of the job. The fact that I could see students learning, dealing with actual problems and trying to find real-life solutions, you could see the lights come on. I became an associate dean in the mid-'80s. And that was a hard job. And I look around the law school now and think, oh, they have a director of admissions. They have an alumni office. They have a placement office. I had so many responsibilities during that time that I can't say I did any of them very well, but I did them. Little Rock first opened a full-time program in 1978, and we saw some just incredibly bright people, and a lot of them were women. My friend recommended that I apply for a job, Dale Bumpers, chief counsel and legislative director, something I really didn't think I could do. And my husband said, "You've always wanted to work in Washington, and now you have a chance." But the difference was, at the law school, I needed to know a narrow subject, but I needed to know it in great depth. Working for Dale, I needed to know a huge variety of subjects, but I only needed to know them enough to make intelligent decisions on advice. But the day after the '92 election, Dale and I went to lunch and he asked me if I wanted to be U.S. Attorney. Sure, why not? After the U.S. Attorney's office, I called the guy who was then the dean, who was a friend of mine, and said, I need a job. I know I brought a lot more to the table in my second time than I did my first, because I'd had the Washington experience, I'd had the U.S. Attorney's office experience. I didn't get back into administrative work until John DePippa was retiring out of the dean's office, and he called me in and asked me if I would be interested in being interim. And during that year, we got a new provost on the main campus. Sure enough, the next meeting, she asked me if I wanted to be the vice provost for research and the dean of the graduate school. Some of the best advice I ever got about being a lawyer was to keep your word, not mislead people, and to do what you say you're going to do. I think that's probably true in life as well. It is an honor to be inducted into the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. I'm not sure I belong here, but I'm happy to be here.
Please welcome Paula Casey.
I'm not sure what there is to say except thank you. I am incredibly grateful for the opportunities that I had, and I think that that's the thing that maybe distinguishes me from a lot of other people who didn't have the same opportunities. I am grateful for those. I'm grateful for the people who made the opportunities possible. So many of them are here tonight. I hope I get to see you before I leave. And I don't think there's anything else to say except really thank you. To all of my friends and family who are here, I am overwhelmed
But mostly, and to the people who put this event on, all of them have been extraordinarily helpful and kind, and I appreciate it ever so much. Mostly, I have to say thanks to Gil, because like Dr. Bogle, I got myself a strong man and one of the nicest guys in the world.
Our next inductee this evening is Regina Favors. Regina is a distinguished Arkansas native whose remarkable career spans decades of corporate leadership, education, and community service. She made history as the highest-ranking minority executive at Arkansas Blue Cross Blue Shield and has led Arkansas Baptist College as interim president 3 times while also mentoring countless students and future leaders. Widely respected for her dedication, wisdom, and service on more than 38 boards, Regina continues to leave an inspiring legacy across Arkansas and beyond.
My name is Regina. I was born in Jonesboro, Arkansas. My father pastored the First Baptist Church in Jonesboro and was the owner of the only Black-owned barbershop. My mother, however, was the heartbeat of the family. She raised all 6 of us with grace and intention. My parents always instilled in us that education is the opportunity to open doors for you. We moved to Little Rock, and in the 11th grade, I learned that I was one of 3 students that had been selected at Horace Mann High School to work for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In 1965, I worked in the identification branch. I was one of the only Black individuals in my department and the only woman. It was a culture shock, for sure. I came back in 1968, and my next door neighbor was Reverend Lloyd Myers, who was the first Black individual to take a job at Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And he insisted that I apply for a job. I had an opportunity to meet with the HR director, and he decided to allow me to go to the claims department. My claims processing was so fast. My supervisor was in the corner counting my claims to make sure that my numbers was correct. I had a good chuckle about that. After I worked in that department for less than 3 years, Mr. McLeody said he was promoting all of us. We were the first 3 female supervisors in the department. While in the claims department, I was promoted to an HR position. I was the first one to set up an orientation program. Shortly after my stay in HR, I was promoted to a manager position over the Medicare Part A program. We became one of the largest Medicare operations in the nation. After Medicare, I was named as one of the managers of the Medicaid program at the time. I left the Medicaid program and was asked to manage the Louisiana employees. The Louisiana operation became one of the most highly achieved office for the Part A program than any contractor in the nation. We saved the program. When I came back to Little Rock, I was named director over the Medicare program. I've served on maybe 40 boards now, the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the Quorum Court, the Clark Atlanta University Mentoring Program, Arkansas Baptist College, the Commission for Arkansas's Future. It does mean a lot that the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce is rewarding and recognizing those who make this state what it is today. Growing up, women inspired me. I stand on the shoulders of so many people, so many people. It only lets me know maybe there's more that I need to do to really deserve such an honor.
Please help me in welcoming Javon Favors, Regina's daughter, who is accepting on her behalf.
Hello, and thank you. I am very happy to accept this award for my mother. She is very, very sad that she has not been able to make it today. She is, however, watching on the live stream, so I will make her proud. And the only reason why I had to come up here with my cell phone is because she sent me a few notes that she wanted me to include. But I already had most of the thank yous, and I told her, I said, Mom, I have this. I lived my whole life with you, walking the trails through Blue Cross and Blue Shield. But she does want to thank Blue Cross and Blue Shield and Curtis Barnett for his nomination. She's very, very happy to see all the employees that are here. We've been sending her pictures. And they have been here for most of everything in her life, and she worked there for 43 years. I grew up in that company. She also wanted to thank US Able Life with the board, the one board that she is paid to sit on. My mom sat on 43 boards, non-paying boards. I grew up in the life of philanthropy, and she taught me how to serve. She worked for Blue Cross full time, and when she got off from work, she would go and teach at Arkansas Baptist College for free. Well, she would not take the check. She would put the check in a scholarship fund for my grandfather and my grandmother in the late W.O. Lindsay and Hermine Ewell Lindsay's name. So I have been at Blue Cross my whole life, working with her on Saturdays. She was very committed. So I told her, you know what, I can handle this, Mom. I can accept this. As a matter of fact, I feel like I deserve the award also. But I'm very proud of her, and we are so thankful for her to be nominated. It is a well-deserved award for her. And we want to also thank the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame for inducting her, and the North Little Rock Chamber for their huge contribution to this great organization. Thank you.
Our last contemporary inductee of the evening is Dr. Stacy Jones. Dr. Jones is a devoted physician scientist whose passion for children's health shaped her distinguished career at Arkansas Children's and UAMS. Her groundbreaking work in food allergy research has helped lead to FDA-approved treatments, earning national recognition from the NIH and even National Geographic. Known for her warmth, vision, and unwavering dedication, Dr. Jones continues to inspire through her work as a physician, researcher, mentor, and advocate for every child she serves.
For me, it has always been important to remember my really strong roots in Arkansas and my belief that we can make health and well-being a part of our lifestyle in Arkansas for everyone. I grew up in South Arkansas. My parents were hardworking community advocates. I think that was some of my early inspiration, believing that we all were kind of responsible for each other. I wound up going to the University of Arkansas. I felt that there was a lot of opportunity for me here. We really explored science in a way that I had never had. So I got really interested in healthcare. I left and went to Johns Hopkins to train with a world-class researcher and clinician in food allergy, and then came back home, as I'd always planned to do. I chose this career in allergy and immunology because it was so wide open. There was so much work to be done to put the science behind food allergy. And I learned that there was a whole different side of medicine that could only advance healthcare through discovery and research. When I first entered the field, trying to understand how to provide better diagnostics, we began to do work on a type of therapy called oral immunotherapy, protecting patients with life-therapiing peanut allergy and egg allergy. It was the first therapy that reached the FDA approval for food allergy, and we have a lot of other therapies in the pipeline. We've been able to accomplish and participate in collaborative research across the country to really, I think, change the field of food allergy and many other related disorders. Arkansas Children's has always been pure magic for me. Working with children is just the biggest career blessing. It's the greatest way to go to work every day. On the really tough days, for me, it always comes back to kids. It's not how many publications or grants I'll have or what my resume will look like at the end of the day. It's, did we make a difference in the life of a child and in a family? If I have advice or how I've felt through my whole career as a physician, as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a human in our world, is to be true to yourself and to be the change that we seek, and not to wait on someone else or a better time. That we remember our mission and that we never stop caring, and that we leave this world and the children in a great place to take us forward and to be better. If I could inspire another young colleague or the next generation, it would be to go and learn and come back and give back, and let's change healthcare, let's change medicine, let's change life for the people in this state. When I learned that I was being inducted into the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame, is wow, why? Immediately hit with imposter syndrome, because my career is really about our team, my family, and the work that has been behind me. It's an incredible honor to be a woman of Arkansas.
Please welcome Dr. Stacy Jones.
Well, Bettina's right. It's really bright up here. I, like the others, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so grateful for the selection committee, the people at Arkansas Children's and UMS in particular, a handful that put my nomination together. And I do think there's a Pulitzer Prize for Fiction award coming to them after this ceremony for that. I have always been surrounded by incredible men and women in my career and in my life, and I share the stage with some of them this evening. Dr. Margaret Bogle and her sister, Dr. Betty Lowe, absolutely. Dr. Joanna Seibert, who led our prayer, Debbie Pfizer, who has graciously come tonight, and Wesley Burks, all strong Arkansans and people that have continually inspired me and lifted me up, among others. I'm so grateful for my friends that are all over the place, my incredible colleagues that are here. You guys inspire me and really help us stay focused on our mission. It is a really incredible time in healthcare. I get, as I mentioned in the video, I get to go to work every day and work with children. It's incredible. It's like playing almost. You can have a bad day and immediately you're inspired to do something different. I stand before you because of a team of people that, both men and women, that work hard, that are dedicated, that never take their eye off of the prize to make healthcare better in our state. I'm a proud Arkansan. I'm a proud faculty member at UAMS, and I work at Children's Hospital every day in this incredible environment that I feel so blessed to have. Very importantly, my family, I almost never get to thank them publicly. My husband, Tom, of 36 years, and most people think that's a huge feat for him. He should be wearing a medal. For sure. My son, Ben, is also here tonight, and my two girls, Elizabeth and Maggie, and Elizabeth's husband, Augustine, could not make it, but I know they're here in spirit. My father, Don, is here, and many other family members, my brother, Wes, who has always grown up to be my best friend. I thank you all. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. And for my family and my close friends, thank you for the grace that you show me every day and the forgiveness for always splitting my time in my life for something that I deeply love and appreciate. Then, like we always say, we got work to do. Let's go do it. Thank you again for this evening and for being here to celebrate so many great things in women in the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. We are going to move now into our historical category and award presentation. Our first historical inductee is Maud Robinson Crawford. Maud was a remarkable attorney and civic leader who became one of Arkansas's earliest women lawyers, passing the bar with the highest score in her class despite never attending law school. She was a driving force behind Arkansas Girls State and led numerous women's organizations encouraging young women to engage in civic life and leadership. Known for her sharp mind, fierce determination, and dedication to her community, Maud's story continues to inspire as one of courage, service, and bold action.
In 1917, Arkansas opened the legal profession to women, paving the way for pioneers like Maud Robinson Crawford. Born in 1891, Crawford began as a stenographer in a Camden law firm, but soon set her sights higher, and in 1927 became Camden's first female attorney, launching a career that would inspire generations of Arkansas women.
I'm so impressed by her and the fact that she read for the law, never attended law school. In the year she took the bar exam, she scored the top score in the entire state. Maud helped other people on their political campaigns, and it's my understanding that she and Susie Pryor, who's the mom of Senator David Pryor, did so much work behind the scenes that at the time maybe the men were, in quotes, running things, but really Maud and Susie were quite busy in making sure that campaign offices got set up.
For 30 years, Maud Crawford thrived as a real estate attorney, but her impact reached far beyond law. Maud broke new ground as the first woman elected to the Camden City Council and as founder of the local Pilot Club International chapter, which honored her as Woman of the Year in 1954.
For her to be willing to put her name on the ballot and run against a man in a small community, I think that takes a level of bravery and self-confidence and interest in giving back to your community that is very uncommon.
In 1942, she was instrumental in creating Arkansas Girls State, a groundbreaking leadership program for young women that she passionately supported each year.
One of the biggest things that I think Arkansas Girls State gives to its delegates is becoming a member of a sorority of women that are going to be the future leaders in their communities, states, the United States, and maybe even worldwide. When you start to look at women who've made a difference in our communities, you will find a lot of Girls State alum.
She wanted women to have that opportunity. She saw and had the foresight that women were going into politics and needed to know everything about it.
She opened doors for thousands, leaving a mark of courage, leadership, and progress in our state.
She saw it was important that we know to watch politics, watch the legislation. And in 1942, that was just amazing. This woman was just a powerhouse.
Accepting the award on her behalf is Mayor Charlotte Young, Mayor of the City of Camden.
It is such an honor to be able to receive this award tonight for Maud Crawford. So many people do not realize how much this lady did, how brilliant she was, and how many glass ceilings she broke for all of us women. As being mayor, I can tell you right now, there's not a lady on the city council, so just imagine back in her time, the courage it took for her to run for that and to do all the wonderful things she did. She wanted to make sure that everyone had good civic education to become good citizens of our state. Thank you.
The next historical inductee this evening is Rosa Zanyoni Marinoni. Rosa was a beloved poet, author, and cultural leader who made Fayetteville her home after arriving from Italy as a child. Known for her passion for poetry and community, she founded Arkansas's first poetry club, established Poetry Day in the state and later in the country, and became Poet Laureate of the Ozarks. Her devotion to writing, mentorship, and the beauty of Arkansas continues to be remembered through her work, her historic home, and the generations she inspired.
She came here from northern Italy and was transported to the Ozarks. Her father was very well connected with important people in Italy and in the United States.
She and my grandfather married in '07. My grandfather published many books on the subject of languages. I think maybe the interest in publishing probably sparked my grandmother's interest in publishing her poems.
She first started writing poetry in 1924. She had an appendicitis attack and was in the hospital, and the woman behind the curtain next to her was dying and lost her child. And so she wrote a poem called Lullaby, of the woman singing a lullaby all night long to her child who just died. That moment inspired her, and after that, she just never looked back. She wrote over 5,000 poems and published worldwide. She wrote short stories. She had a number of pen names. One of the things that she insisted on when she was writing from all publications, that Fayetteville, Arkansas be under her name. And she said, that's not because I want them to be proud of me, but that I'm proud of my hometown and my home state. In 1953, there was a vacancy for Poet Laureate. And so she was named by Governor Cherry the Poet Laureate of Arkansas in 1953. In 1954, she published this book, Timberline, which was the biggest book that she published. And this was representative of her work at the time. Also, she was named an Arkansas Traveler, which is naming someone as an ambassador of the state of Arkansas to the people of Arkansas, the nation, and beyond its borders. So that was a great honor.
She was always encouraging other writers, always making a favorable impression and encouraging and reading other poets, their writings, their ideas. She was always wanting to share the enthusiasm, I think, of writing and encouraging budding artists, you might say, in the art of poetry.
She started Poetry Day in Arkansas. It's on October 15th. And after she established Poetry Day in Arkansas, then she started campaigning to have a Poetry Day in the country. So in 1969, Poetry Day was named Rosa Zanyoni Marinoni Poetry Day in Arkansas. She was really putting Arkansas on the literary map. It's an honor to her legacy and to who she was, and I think she would be happy because by elevating her, it might have other people take notice and go, yeah, I could do that. Or I've always wanted to write poetry, I just might try. She was greatly loved.
Accepting this award on her behalf is Mary Sue Shaw, Rosa's granddaughter.
Thank you. Oh, that's so beautiful. Good evening.
As she said, my name is Mary Sue Marinoni Shaw, but it is my supreme honor and privilege to represent the family tonight, and I have a few thank yous. First, I'd like to thank Dean Raines for nominating my grandmother for this wonderful honor. I'd like to thank Suzanne Underwood Rhodes, the current Poet Laureate of Arkansas, for writing a beautiful letter in recommendation. Ashley Height, who was our communicator over the several months of preparation for this beautiful, very informative, and kept everybody in touch. I'd like to also thank my sister Paula Marinoni, who wrote the beautiful biography that you'll read when you have a chance. My family's over there. She not only wrote poetry, you'll notice in the program, she wrote epigrams. And I have a lovely little book that she gave me many years ago. It's very rare. It's so old that, you know, in the printing press days, when they printed a book, they printed 4 pages and folded them. This one was never cut. The pages are still folded, which, you know, I've read it many times, and I just didn't even notice that, but unless I've lost my marker. I want to read one of the epigrams that she wrote that I think she would appreciate at this time. A poet's paramount desire is to sweep her thoughts outward. The farther the dust of her ideas fly, the more it flatters her. That would be her comment, and I know she would be thrilled tonight. Thank you.
Our final category of the evening is the group category. This award goes to the All-American Redheads. The All-American Redheads were a groundbreaking women's basketball team founded in 1936, known for dazzling crowds across the nation with their skill, showmanship, and signature red hair. From their Arkansas home base, they played against men's teams under men's rules, winning most of their games while captivating audiences with their athleticism and entertaining halftime performances. Honored in both the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame and Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, the Redheads remain a celebrated symbol of sportsmanship, talent, and show-stopping fun.
I was born into the All-American Redheads, and then after my mom and dad passed away, I inherited the rights and the ability to keep their dream alive promoting women's sports. It started back in 1936. Mr. Olson owned a traveling men's team called the Terrible Swedes, and his wife owned a slew of beauty shops. Mr. Olson was paying the players. If you played the All-American Redheads, you were no longer considered an amateur. In certain areas of the country, they never did stop girls basketball like they did here in Arkansas, so they just said make a touring women's team. He started traveling everywhere, carrying these girls with red hair, and they got the red hair from the beauty shop, taking both of their businesses and coming up with a successful entity to make money and promote women's sports. My parents started working for Mr. Olson. After Mr. Olson wanted to retire, he asked Daddy would he buy the team. He bought it from them and just kept it going since then. They had 3 teams traveling the United States, playing every night, 7 to 8 months a year, and that's how my family made their living all their life.
I played high school basketball. My senior year, they invited me to play against the girls. When you play against the All-American Redheads, there are no rules. They're in control. You think you're just out there playing regular basketball, and then they say, okay, we're fixing to do a trick. We're doing it for the audience.
Each one of them would make up a special halftime trick for them to do every night to make the crowds laugh. The comedian of the team, she would come out and do what was called the referee act. Every time the men would catch the ball, she would call a violation. So they had a few rules like that that changed the game, and it was all for a good cause. What they promoted was women in sports being successful. When they say they were drawing crowds, they were drawing crowds. They didn't believe women could play sports. First of all, women were not supposed to have any kind of competitive spirit.
Back then, basketball was no more of a finesse game. If you just barely touched somebody, it was a foul. Well, these girls was rough as a corn cob. They were better athletes than most of the boys that they was playing. I was very proud that I played against them twice.
The All-American Redheads filled a void there from 1936 to about 1986 because women did not have the opportunities they do today. When Title IX passed, you had more teams, more women playing. Nowadays, girls grow up expecting that all of these sports are always going to be offered. They don't understand the importance of the people that laid the path for them to be able to have these opportunities. My parents and Mr. and Miss Olson would be extremely excited about being in the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame. And I'm very proud to have been part of the All-American Redheads.
Accepting the award is Tammy Moore Harrison, owner of the All-American Redheads and daughter of Coach Orwell and Lorraine Butch Moore.
She just took my speech, so I'm a little off here. I would like to thank everyone involved in this wonderful event. I'm so proud and honored to stand up here in recognition of the All-American Redheads who started out in Cassville, Missouri, but moved to Caraway, Arkansas, the big city of Caraway, Arkansas. My mom and dad, that's where they brought the team back to until the demise of the team, that's where their home was. I am so honored and so happy to take this opportunity to express how many people this involves, not just people from Arkansas. There were 76 men and women that participated from Arkansas, and tonight I've heard there were a couple more that really wanted to play on the team, but they got married instead. So that happened a lot back every year. So just knowing that from being a part of the business. I would like to also to tell you a little bit about, not just did they do their razzle-dazzle, they did their razzle-dazzle, as she said, with their lipsticks, their blue eyeshadow, their red hair, their shiny uniforms, and all that. But they also razzled and dazzled millions of people throughout the years. And this led to, in 1960, my dad was offered $1 million for the team. He refused to sell it, and in 1971, they had 3 teams touring the United States and abroad. In 1970s, Title IX passed. It passed in 73, but it didn't have to be implemented until 76. That was really the demise of the All-American Redheads as far as the big touring days, because we had so many opportunities. The teams continued to 1986, but it slowly dwindled because there were no gyms to play in. Everybody was on a team. There was no, every night the gyms had something going on in them. And then you had opportunities in colleges and places to play where women did not have opportunities before. This award goes to hundreds of women, and I am so excited that the All-American Redheads are a part of that group that helped pioneer, and one of the only groups that lasted 50 years of professional basketball for women. Naismith, who invented basketball, said women should just play the girls' game, okay? And if you notice the little speech where Danny said they didn't play like girls, and they were not going to play just to play and be participants. They played for the competition, And I think that's encouraged other women to realize that it was all right for them to step out of the status quo and do things out of the abnormal. I'm so proud of all of these women, and I have a few women here tonight I would like to recognize that are with me. If you would stand, please. Brenda O'Brien Brooks, O'Cosner, and then we have Carolyn Gooch Hicks, and Michelle Pollard Wire. And I'm so excited they're here with me tonight because they were. There are many others that just could not make it physically and all that, and I hope they're watching and that they're so proud because this award goes for you too. There's also an old saying that if you dug the well, if you go to the well and drink, you got to thank someone who dug it for you. Well, tonight you thank those people that dug that well for women's basketball. I would also like to thank Maria Jones, who helped write such a wonderful little big paper or whatever booklet for us to be inducted. I would like to thank all the board members, all the people that voted, all the people that's come up to us and been so wonderful. I'm so honored to be inducted with this wonderful group of women. I have learned so much. Just a little note, I did go to the Arkansas Girls State. Just thought I'd back last year. Thank you so much. And like I said, let's give the women that are not here for the All-American Redheads that are watching live stream, give them a little round of applause, please. Thank you very much.
Keep the applause going to all of these exceptional women that were honored here tonight. We really hope you've enjoyed this inspiring evening and that you've shared our passion for honoring and preserving the stories of Arkansas's most influential women leaders for generations to come. It has been such a privilege to serve as your MC tonight. And to help us bring this celebration to a close, please join me in welcoming back to the stage our Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame Chair, Stacey Hurst.
Well, this has been terrific. Have just a few more things and we're going to get you all out of here on time. First of all, thank you, Corey, for guiding us so gracefully through this unforgettable evening. Tonight has certainly reminded us why the Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame matters. Because the legacies of these remarkable women should continue to shine and inspire for years to come. As you may know, this event is our sole source of revenue to continue that mission of capturing and telling these stories. If you share our passion for this work, we invite you to make a tax-deductible contribution to help sustain our effort in 2026 and beyond. You'll find a donation QR code in your program booklet. Every gift, no matter the size, helps us keep these legacies alive. Again, don't forget, if you know a deserving woman, please go online and nominate her for our 2026 Arkansas Women's Hall of Fame class. A huge thank you to our sponsors, especially our presenting sponsor, Centennial Bank. Could I hear a round of applause for Centennial Bank? On each of the tables are beautiful floral arrangements, if I do say so myself, provided by Tipton and Hearst. Please feel free to take these home with you. Congratulations once again to this year's inductees, and thank you all for joining us tonight. Safe travels home. We look forward to seeing you next year. We are adjourned. Thank you.